Hello and welcome to Crafting with Jane. I thought today we would do something totally different. I'm always trying to bring you things that I've been working on and experimenting with and seeing how they come out. And I have been doing something called Neurographic Art. Now, it's a bit like doodling, but doodling with a bit of a difference. I don't know if you remember when Zentangle was all about, and it was quite complicated with some of the structures and things like that, but it was something that you could do quite sort of quietly. I shall show you a couple of cards that I've done. This is sort of doodling, but you round everything off so that you have nice round shapes. So I've turned a couple into, as you know, I do cards, so easy way to do it, just put a sentiment of some sort on. So I thought happy birthdays for younger people, or you know, a masculine card for a younger person that you don't want you know, frillies or anything on it apart from happy birthday. So those are two ideas that way. This is one that I haven't finished yet into a card or anything, but it gives you a way of practicing your lights and your darks and trying to bring it up as a pebble. It's not quite right, but it's a practice piece for me. So I practice my lights and my darks and how I try and get things coming through color wise. And this was done with pencils. These were done with alcohol markers, I think. Those were done with pencils. This one, I really like the colours of this, so I'm part way through that. And I thought I would show you on a teeny weeny one, because it takes quite a while and I don't want it to take forever. So I'm going to just very carefully, excuse if it wobbles, but I'm going to bring this in a bit. So excuse it while it wobbles and then it stops, and hopefully that will help you see it. So you need a if you're doing alcohol, which I am, you need a watercolor pen. If you're doing it in watercolors, you need a something like a Sharpie, so an alcohol or a permanent marker. So this is a watercolor one, and I'm taking it on the fine tip because we're doing it small, and literally all you do is take from the side and just draw a, oh, this one might have almost run out, a sort of wiggly line across, and we can take a wiggly line across here and maybe another one across there. We can take something with a bit of swirl round on there, and we can take a circle in on here, and let's take another circle in on there, and we can take another line running through down like that. It really doesn't matter how you do it, so I'm just wanting to fill the area as long as you go from one side to the other. That's the thing that they recommend. So take it from one side like this, wiggle it down and take it off on the other. Okay, I think that's going to work okay. Now, all we have to do is every time you see, so on here, every time you see on this is a sharp edge, you round it off. Okay, so let's take it down on here. You round that edge off, you round that edge off, you round that edge off, and then just colour it in. And then you go up onto this one, and we're going to do the same thing, and round on here, on there. So we've got circles coming through, so that can round off down here. Take that rounded and down on here, and we can take that rounded. So that's all you literally do. And I sort of turn my work as I go because I like to see where my rounds are going to come. So let's take it through, and it doesn't matter if you go over the top like this, you can just take it round on here. It's quite relaxing actually, and it's the sort of thing that if you're trying to practice colouring and getting, as I say, your lights and your darks and your shades and things like that, it's quite a good way of doing it. And I was like, oh, I'm actually enjoying doing this. Why don't I share it with you all? And then you can see, as I say, you can turn it into cards. You can just have them as practice pieces. This one, I'm going to do it into a card, but it's going to be a little focal point on something. So I've got it to come round on there. So as I say, as you can see, you just literally go round all the way round. So this one here needs to be rounded, comes down on here, and you just get some really nice shapes going. So again on this one needs to be rounded on here, come up, go round. This piece on here is a little tiny one, so that can come round on here. Hope you can see this on here. Yes, you can, that's good. So I'm just literally going all the way round on these edges. And as I say, it is it's a bit like doodling, but it's a bit more sort of structured googling. And it's like everything, it's supposed to be one of these, which is why it's called neurographic art. It's supposed to be one of these things that is quite relaxing. So, you know, you can do it in whatever medium you want. But I thought that it's the sort of thing, I'm always trying to practice my lights and my darks and my shading and things. And, you know, I'm by no means an expert. I'm learning all the time. So it makes a lot of sense for me to do things that that help practice those skills. And as I say, with me having lots of paper, it's a nice way of doing it. So as I say, I'm just bringing it round. So this has got to be, you have some nice sort of shapes coming. But as I say, every time you get something that you think is a bit square, you just want to round it off. So these nice sort of circly bits here, you can bring them off, bring that round. And you have these sort of little black lines that then give that look. And as I say, it's sort of doodling, but it's a little bit more grown up, I suppose. It's like any of these art forms. They are what you make them. If you're somebody that doesn't like this sort of thing, then it's going to be like, oh my goodness, I can't think of anything worse. But for me, I must admit, I do enjoy just taking this time to do some quite relaxing stuff. So it's quite interesting when you have little tiny pieces like this, because this has got to come round and be really rounded. So I want to come and take that round here like that. And then by doing little circles, you have these almost like little balls that almost look like what are those seed pods? Those sort of lantern type seed pods that you get that look quite pretty. They almost look like that. Okay, so we've now got this funny one that comes round in here. So that's got to come that way and go around there. And then that's got to come that way. So we've got this sort of circular thing coming through. That'll have to come round there. And I think that's probably, is that it? No, I've got these little ones here. So, and you can see, you know, if you're doing a bigger piece, it can take you a good few hours, if not longer. You know, it's something that you can sort of get quite lost into, if that's the sort of thing that you enjoy doing. Which, as I said to you, you know, I love trying new things. I love trying things that are new to me that I haven't done before. And I find that that keeps my mind and everything sharp and teaches me new things. Okay, so we've now got these little pieces in here, and then we need to take some colours. So I'm going to do these in quite pale ones to start off with. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take this in the light, and I'm just going to colour the whole colour in on here. I'm doing this fairly quickly because I would do it and take a lot more time, but I'm trying to do this for you so you can see for colours. In fact, if I get all three of them out, so we're going to have a green, only because I love these three colours together. So let's just take, oops, have this one next to this one. And as I say, do whatever colours you like. Use whatever mediums you want. If you want to use pencils, use pencils. You know, for me, I just like using whatever I happen to have at the time. So at the moment, this is going to be in alcohol markers. But as I said, I've done it in all sorts of, I've done it in pencils. I've done a watercolour one, which I shall show you at the end, which I'm quite pleased with. Not quite right. Again, the perspective is not, and that's the thing I struggle with, perspective. So getting things that you've got the right amount of light and dark in on there. And I find that really quite difficult. I'm not, you know, I know a lot of you turn around and go like, oh, lovely, oh, beautiful, etc. I'm by no means an artist, you know. I work quite hard at what I try and do, but I'm not an artist by any stretch of the imagination. So I do like to work at some of those things so that I don't, as I say, I don't lose those skills and learn new skills all the time. And I think a lot of you, you know, are very similar. It's nice to learn new things, and it's nice to just have some fun. So I'm going to just do down to the bottom of here, and then I'm going to do something. Let's take a bit more purple. I've got a purple one. I have purple down here. So you can see it will take you a little while to do it, but I'm just going to do half. And this is just a tiny little piece. So then I want to show you the light and dark part to practice, to try and make it come out a bit. So just colouring that out. Oh, what colour are we going to have this little one in here? Green, I think. We better have this one green up on here, and we better have that one blue in on there. If I'm going to do half, I want to do it half so that it looks as if it's half, and we better have this one in blue as well. Okay, so you can see what I mean about having all of these sort of like pebble type patterns coming through, which I think are quite fun. So now that I've done this all in light, what we want to do now is to take some dark through on here. So I'm going to actually take some different colours that are darker than all of these, and I'm going to take some light. So while you're looking at that, I'm just going to take some darker ones. So I'm going to take a dark blue, a dark purple, and what was the other one? A darker green. Probably that green, because that is quite dark. Because I want to show you how you can take so this is quite a bright, very different blue. And what I'm going to do with this one is, does that make any difference? No, it needs to be darker than that. Let's try this one. That's better. Okay, so for this, I'm literally just going all the way around the outside of this, keeping that sort of shape. And then I'm going to go in on this one as well. Because we've got the light coming through in the center and we've got the dark going round the side. Now this little one I'm not going to do much with at all, maybe just a little bit on the edges. This is a bigger one, so again I can go round on the outside. I might take it round on here so it comes in. And it's almost making it look a bit pebble-like. Take that down a little bit more, I think. And then this one again, I'm just going to take it round to give it a little bit more of a shape. And we'll do this one as well. So this is where you can start practicing your lights and your darks to try and get things in so that you have that sort of pebble look. And you can blend each one of them in. I haven't got the time to blend them all in this time, so I'm just going to be doing them, you know, one layer. But I wanted to show you how if you take, now this is going to be the darker green. So let's take that round in on here. You want to sort of blend it in. So you have that sort of round look to it. This again is a tiny one, so I'm just going to do round the very, very outside of it. This one here. But I hope you can see how you're just starting to get this really nice, almost like a rounded pebble look. Which, if you think when you're colouring a flower or a petal or something that you want to have that rounded look, you can look at achieving that by doing the two colours. And this is going to be the purple. So I'm just going to check and see how dark this one is. Right, it needs to be a dark, dark one again. And so on here, I'm just bringing that round. So as I say, you can then go back and do it backwards and forwards a few times. So you go dark to light, light to dark, dark to light, light to dark, around a few times. And then you can, so I'm just taking this, we've got a nice rounded sort of shape in on here. And we'll do it on this one as well. So as I say, if you then take it, you can then blend it in. So it's not quite as, this you've got quite of a stark shadow, you know, line coming through, which demonstrates the idea very well, but you would want more blending to come through. So as I say, if you then take your lighter colour again, or if you're using three colours, use the three colours. So for example, if I take this, the pale purple again in here that I've just used, and I go through on the outside again and just blend that through, just in on the seams, it will blend it through quite nicely. Now obviously it takes a while to dry through because you're saturating the card, but it gives a different look. So if I take it like that, you can see how you've got this sort of light and dark coming through, which looks quite good. Then to finish it, you need to take, and I've just taken them out on here, you need a white to give you your light. Now you can use chalk markers. I've got some of these Posca pens because I really like them because they give quite a nice opaque look. And then you need to, on the center of these ones, you can just do a little line like that. You can take it wherever you think your light is going to come from. And again, you need to wait for it to dry. I'm doing it very quickly because it will take a little while to dry. But I hope you can now see from that. Let me stand up. Yes, you can see how you're starting to get, if I put that over there, can you see how you're getting that sort of rounded look on there? I'm going to take this back. Hold on a second. Let me take it back to... There we are. Right. So you can now see from there, sorry, a little bit of wiggling, but I will carry on and finish that off. But you can see how that will make a lovely little piece if I put it onto a nice little mount of black in the squares. Use that as a focal point. I can put anything on there. I can put a silhouette of some sort, and I think it's quite fun. So as I say, I've done, these are the ones that I've sort of played around with before. You can do them, as I say, just one colour. So this was just done in pinks. This one was done in different colours. And in fact, I left a couple white because I thought that looked quite fun. This one was done all in rounds. So I just literally started doing rounds in there. And that worked quite fun. And this one again is those colours that I've started. I haven't finished it. And then we've got the one that we did. And then I said that I would show you. So you can see this is starting to dry out a little bit now. So you've got these lovely colours coming through. I think that looks really nice. Again, totally different. And then I did this one, which didn't quite work completely, but it was quite fun. So what I wanted to do was to have a circle, but I wanted it dome shaped. And what I should have done is to have done it all the way round and to have had the light in the centre here. But this was just done with watercolour paper and just playing around with different lights and darks and things of where the light, I wanted it as if the light was coming this way. So all of this would be pale, all of that would be dark. Some of it worked, some of it didn't. But again, it's experimenting. It's playing and doing things that you enjoy, which are fun. And as I say, you can turn into cards. So hope you enjoyed that. But a little bit different. I'm going to carry on and finish this off, and then I'm sure you will see me do something with it at a later date. So thank you so much for watching me. As always, please stay safe and well. Please be kind, and look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye bye.